Before we get into this, I'd just like to clarify. I'm wearing a jacket because it's freezing in my house and the heating's not being switched on for a while because I'm not a very warm person. Why do I say that prom was so bad, and why should you trust my opinion? Because I was a non-official member of the prom committee. Therefore my opinion is irrelevant. But like, I helped out with it, so just trust me on this. Prom was hard. Like, prom looked great, but it was not easy to plan, and for the most part we didn't think it was gonna happen. Plus, one of the main problems with our school is that unlike other secondary schools who are like, oh, you know, people have beef, but all together at the end of the day, everyone can come together and just be a good family. Sounds moist, but a good community. Unfortunately, our school was very divided, let's just say that. There was lots of feuds and lots of disagreements, and year 11 year 11 was something else completely. Year 11 was the year that everything went to. Bear in mind, I never applied to be a part of prom committee because I didn't want to have to deal with it, so I didn't want to apply, and I didn't apply. But the problem was, all my friends had decided, let's all be really great and put it on our CV that we were part of prom committee, so they all picked to be part of prom. Except for like, yeah, one other person. It was only me and one person out of everyone in my friendship group, and everyone else went and picked to be a part of prom committee. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, that's great. So when it came around to prom committee meetings, I was like, I'm just gonna tag along, like, for the fun of it, but I'm not a part of it. The gag was on me because I actually did end up becoming a part of it. Pretty stupid. The problem was fundraising, all that kind of stuff. Fundraising was hard because I don't like maths. I'm not good at maths, and money is not my forte because financial statements kind of speak for themselves, i.e. I'm broke. A simple example of this is for fundraising we decided to do a pancake sale. Well, technically it was crepe, but me and a lot of other people were in the food tech room. We were cooking up these pancakes, and the food tech teacher was moving so stush, like she was like, oh, you can't use my eggs. Like, darling, they're just eggs. But we ended up running out of ingredients because, what can I say, our cooking was so great, everyone flocked to go and eat it. So we did what any normal people would do, and we started diluting the batter with water. Oh my god! No one got ill or got any food poisoning, so don't worry. But I must say, watery pancake does not look great. So the stove was left off for a bit, so I was like, oh, okay, let me go fix it. Turned it back on, left it, came back, and there was a problem with the thing. I couldn't feel the heat. So like an idiot, this is the stove, right? I put my hand like this, and like, because it was complete, I put it up to the highest setting. I was just too dumb enough to actually check like normal people and just do that. Instead I was like that. So I burnt like the whole of my hand, and that was there for like a month and a bit. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it hurt like the dickens. That's one aspect, fundraising. The next part was the advertisement, because a lot of people were saying that the tickets were too expensive, which is fair, you know, because when I looked at the price I was like, whew, child, there's no way I'm gonna be paying that much to go to prom. Because first of all, I don't even want to go to prom. That was the gag. What I'm saying is, if I was gonna go to prom, I would not pay that much. As we approached the deadline, it was getting a bit stressful because a lot of people were saying, I'm not gonna go. And the problem was, like, it was like if one person for one group says they're not gonna go, then everyone will start to say, oh, I don't really feel like going. I'm not gonna lie, there were some people who were like, no, we definitely need to come, we definitely need to do stuff, we need to be together, come on, prom. And everyone else was like, well. Next question. Got a dip. People think that you're dumb. Like, people are trying to say that the fee for working for like 4 hours is like £400. I don't know if that's actually normal, but for me, I've never had to book a DJ that's 400. Like, are you, I don't know who you are. Like, I don't know what kind of DJ it has to be. DJ Snake or DJ something big. Like, unless you're some big DJ that's worked with like proper artists, I don't want to hear that. I don't come to me with that. I'm not paying that fee. I don't have time for that. I don't have money for that. What are you doing? So we're trying to plan ahead and think of, oh, how much is it gonna cost, which I did not really calculate because, again, maths is not my it's not my thing. It's not my talent. It's not my skill. I don't go there. I don't do it. It's not for me. Another thing with prom is I wasn't gonna go until I was asked to prom. And low-key at that time, I was like low-key feeling him, so I was like, can we just, okay fine, let's just do it. I have a prom day, I guess I'm going to prom. And then this issue with prom comes up and I'm like, oh wow, guess I'm not going to prom. Banter, because it actually worked out. So we actually ended up raising enough money for it. We did some stuff during the summer holidays to try and fix it up, etc. This, that and third. We ended up raising enough money. Yay! Then my prom date was, let's call him, let's call him Lucas. So Lucas asked me to prom. I say yes. We agree to go to prom. Then we discuss matching outfits, and I didn't even think of that. Like an idiot, I didn't think that through. I like picked a jumpsuit, whatever. I showed it to him. He already had a separate suit with a different colour, and I was like, okay, I'll go look. I found one, except it had been out of stock. So I'm trying to go contact the people. This is from ASOS, by the way. Like, it was a really nice jumpsuit, but I tried to contact them, and they put me on this text thing.
It's called customer service, you stupid.
And I was just waiting there for like 10 minutes, and I was like, hello, and they're like, oh, just give me a second, I'm reading through your request, because I requested, oh, when is the item coming back in stock, because I need it for prom next week. And I waited there for 20 minutes and the woman did not get back to me. And I was like, can you guys please help me? I really need help. I can come into the store or anything like that. I don't know what you guys do, but can I please come in and just sort this out? Zilch. I got aired hardcore. Like, that was a painful airtime. Sorry guys, my battery died again for the 3rd time. Let's see if it dies this time as well. It probably will. Okay, so I had to go buy, basically it was the same outfit. I got it and it came a couple of days before. So the stress was organising exactly how I was going to meet up for my prom date, how we were going to get there. I had problems with makeup because I couldn't do makeup. I didn't have makeup, I'd never done makeup, eyelashes don't count. And yeah, I had problems with that. So I went and asked my brother's now ex-girlfriend she could do my makeup. And she was like, oh, I'll definitely try, no worries, da 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 da. And but to be honest, it wasn't really all that realistic because she lived in Coventry and I live not in Coventry. If you think about the difference, it was like almost 4 hours by train. So there was like very unlikely that she was going to be able to come, and she ended up not being able to come anyway. So last minute I called my cousin the day before and I said, could you maybe be able to come over and do my makeup? Except she's in university, like way far. So she was like, oh, maybe, it depends. So on the day she's like, oh, okay, I can come, I'll come a bit later. And I had already like done my hair, I had like a fake ponytail thing. And I was like kind of low-key stressing out because obviously my prom date was saying, oh, I might not be able to come because I feel sick. And then my cousin saying I'm gonna be late. And I'm like, okay, prom starts at 7, it's now 4. And I'm like waiting around like, what am I gonna do? Because like I think literally me and Lucas got into like a bit of an argument as well. So it was like really awkward and I was just like, okay, so are you gonna come? He said yeah. I was like, okay, so where's she and me? He said, I don't know. I'm like, meanwhile I'm panicking and I asked my friend if her sister could do my makeup. Like I'm just begging back and forth like, guys, please do my makeup, I don't know how to do it, I'm such a mess, what am I gonna do? So I went and spoke to my best friend instead and I was like, can I please go over to your house and you can do my makeup? And she was like, well, she loves doing makeup and stuff like that anyway. She's like, oh, of course, of course. So I left my house in my fake ponytail and my nasty clothes, and I brought my prom outfit with me in my bag, like sleepover stuff, because I was like, oh, we're probably gonna end up sleeping over because prom will end up ending very late. She did my makeup and her prom date turned up, and meanwhile while she's doing my makeup, I'm speaking to Lucas, and I'm like, can you please, like, how are we gonna meet up? And he was like, oh, I don't know, where are you? I was like, oh, I'm at my friend's house, and I gave him the address, and he was like, oh, so how do you want this to work? I was like, okay, so you just can't pick me up because my friend's prom date is coming, so, you know, let's just sort this out. So she goes with her prom date, I go with you. And he was like, oh, my dad's dropping me off. I was like, okay, you know what, we're done. Like, I really had tried. I ended up becoming a third wheel to my friend and her prom date. I was dressed, whatever, it was fine, and I turned up, and I'm not gonna lie, we slayed or whatever, but you know, I didn't take any pictures because I am brain dead and I don't have any common sense, clearly. So yeah, and then my prom date, like, I saw him across from the courtyard, and I aired because I was being very petty, and I was actually irritated because I'm like, how can you ask me to prom? I go to prom, I basically went to prom for Lucas, basically. And so then his friend came up to me and was like, oh, Lucas wants to talk to you. And I was like, so I came up to him, I was like, you wanted to talk to me? He was like, yeah, let's go have a chat. Let's go have a little walk. And I was like, okay, fine. So we were walking and talking, and long story short, what he actually meant when he said that his dad was going to go drop him off is that he was going to get his dad to drop him off to prom, and along the way he was going to go pick me up. But that wasn't mentioned at all, and like, his tone throughout the whole conversation sounded so like indecisive and so like, oh, I was like, okay, so then why am I even bothering? Like, why do I even bother? So I was like, okay, fine, just forget it. And he was like, no, that's not what I meant. And I was like, why didn't you clarify? And he was like, I don't know, I thought you got it. And I was like, I clearly didn't. I took a couple of pictures, and then he went to go and sit with his friends outside, like, the whole time.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
It actually wasn't even that bad. I hung out with my friends were alright. People had prom dates, some people didn't, so it's like, whatever, it's not that deep. Okay, actually no. I was gonna say something, but this actually has nothing to do with me, and that's not my business, and I'm not gonna say it. So, I was about to spill tea that's not mine, and that's rude. I can spill my own tea, I can't spill people's tea. That's why my prom was almost a disaster. Almost. Because it was pretty darn close. It was literally not gonna happen. That's pretty much it. I feel like when I tell stories, I get way too caught up in it. I start reliving it and then I actually get angry. If I should not do story times again, please let me know. Please don't let me look stupid on here and continue to tell dead stories that don't make any sense and are boring as hell. Here's a tip for you. Why don't you stop talking altogether? Great. Thanks. Any type of criticism, I support it completely. Please tell me to shut up if I need to. That's the end of my story time. That's really cool. It was fun-ish, and I had fun-ish, except the fact that my battery died 3 times, so not fun-ish. So I need to go finish off my dinner, and y'all can get back to whatever you was doing before. Have a nice evening, or have a nice day, have a nice night. Enjoy. I'm sorry?